So Netflix have done another adaptation of manga, sort of. Here we're talking about the first 3 episodes of Parasyte-The-Grey, because apparently they're splitting up the season. They want us reviewers to only review the 2 parts separately, because they're splitting up when they've been released. I have all 6 and I really want to talk about the lot, but no spoilers, so let's jump in. A group of humans wage war against the rising evil of unidentified parasitic life forms that live off of human hosts and strive to grow their power. So Parasyte, the Maxim, is one of my favorite anime of all time. I saw it recently, I would say last year. I saw it for the first time. It has quite a few episodes. The problem is, once you start, you're not going to be able to stop. It's brutal in the best way that anime can be, and what they showcase between the fighting and the character development and growth of our main protagonist, you kind of fall in love and are rooting for that character from the get-go, and then everything he has to go through is traumatic for our character, and then you end up rooting for some of the bad guys that are not so bad. And you know, it is literally gray. It's not just good guys versus bad guys versus good. There is quality depth in the storytelling, which makes the characters feel very real. So that's the anime, and now we come to the adaptation. What is a bit weird of an amalgamation here, because really this isn't an adaptation at all. It's their own take, and it's also South Korean. It's not Japanese. There has been a live adaptation of the series, part 1 and 2, that was Japanese way back when, and that was fairly well received according to the ratings. This time round we have 6 episodes, and they're releasing in 2 parts, as I said. Each episode's about 45 minutes apiece, and the first thing you're going to notice, I think for the most part, the special effects, when you get the changes of the parasitic forms, that each one, it can develop and do something different according to the human that they've taken over. What you're going to see on there is these very tentacly looking things. If you've ever seen Resident Evil 5, particularly, I think, or you know, a number of them, when they morph, when they get those like flower sort of faces, and then you get the tentacles kind of flowing out of them, that's a similar thing you can kind of expect here. So if you played the games or watched the movies of the Resident Evil, you would have seen something similar. However, they are able to fight in various formations, and what you see in the creativity of the formations that you find in here looks great, and the CGI for the most part I think is very good. They even go right in on some of it up close, and you can see the movement in the sinew tissue, the grossness of it all, as the human brain and mouth is, you know, separated into becoming all these glorious, wonderful creatures. So I think when it comes to the CG, if you're not too picky, for the most part, you're really going to enjoy the showcasing of the action and how they fight each other. You are absolutely going to get those battle sequences if you're a fan of the anime that you've seen, but in the live action version, and I think they executed quite well. We do have a new protagonist here, and it is their own story, and it isn't, as far as I know, actually connected to the manga or the anime. It's connected loosely in the way that it's the same sort of parasitic organisms, and there's, you know, doing the same thing. But it is its own story, and I can't help but think this is the way we should do adaptations in the future, because then there's no expectation of getting it right from the manga or the anime. You're not coming in, if you're a fan of the original, going, you have all your expectations of what they should do and worried that they're going to adapt it. So here you have a unique story that can stand on its own, basically just adding to the universe. Of course, that won't stop fans from hating on it, just like Star Wars fans. Every time there's something new or different in Star Wars, everybody gets upset. For me, I thought this was really fun. The first 3 episodes did well for me, for our protagonist. She has to come to the realization that she's been infected with one, and that's where we follow the story of the not so good guys in their parasitic forms, and our female protagonist coming to grips with what she is now and having to fight against 2 worlds. She's definitely that sort of fish out of water storyline, but in 2 worlds, because where she was human, now she's sort of on both, and whether she can now communicate with her symbiote.
I am Venom, and you are mine.
I was kind of hoping they would stick more to what the anime creatures can do, at least what we get in the first episodes of Parasyte-The-Grey. In Maxim, they did these things that I thought really built up the character parasite relationship.
You gonna eat anybody else?
Most likely.
Oh,
for our protagonist. I think that worked well. What they're doing well here is showing how vicious and violent the parasites can be, but also on the human side, how that affects us. It's a very complicated story, and I think they showcase that mostly. I'm worried that it's just 6 episodes and they're rushing through the story and they're giving us characters that they want us to root for, but I at the moment only care about 2, maybe 3 somewhat.
Mostly.
For the most part, you are just enjoying the ride and being forced to enjoy that ride with some of the score. Now, when it comes to the visual horror of it, one of the reasons why I think the story is told so well is because it's from the director, or at least directed by the director who gave us Train to Busan 1 and 2. Loved the first one, thought the second one was okay. But then we have the creator who also created the original Parasyte movies or the live action and had a hand in the animation, I believe. So it comes from people who know their craft, who have been in this world for a long time. So you can at least have a little bit of sigh of relief where they're going to be going, okay, this is what they do. They know it. They know this world. They know the characters. The first 3 episodes give you a little bit emotion and insight into the characters. You're going to be rooting for them somewhat, but interested in the mystery of the parasites in that first half. The second half, well, you have to find out in my next review for the full season review when that comes out. But for the moment, I would say this is a lot of fun as a one-time watch so far. I just can't get around the fact that they've split this season up when it's only 6 episodes long. They want that watch time, but I think people with the amount of time in between, it's not that long, it's just a few weeks in between the 2 halves. It's gonna lose momentum. So I don't know why they've quite done that, but as far as I'm aware, the whole season's already been finished, edited. So let me know your thoughts and feelings once you've seen the first 3 episodes. Do you like what you see? How much do you like the anime or the manga if you are fans of it? I'm a huge fan of the anime, so I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. I think it's well done. It's well crafted. The score, the music, the acting, all of that is top notch. The special effects are mostly good, and I buy it because it's not human. So you don't need that CGI on the humans. You need it on the things that they become. And so when they zoom up on those gross parts of the eyes popping out of disjointed tentacle creatures, then I think it works well with the music and the action, because we have that director who's so used to creating that tension, which I liked a lot. So I can't really rate it as a full season yet because it's just 3 episodes. I can say it's on its way to a 4, but I will give a full review and score when I'm able to lift the embargo on the last 3. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.